Do you have the freedom in your life to do what you want with who you want, when you want? Are you expressing creatively? Are you really fully living in joy in every moment of your life? Even those moments that are a little bit dark, you still find the joy and the light and the beauty of all the lessons? If you're not, then I'm about to share with you the 3 secrets to living a high vibe life. Hi, I'm Amy Elizabeth, your energy evolution mentor, and I am here to make spirituality simple. Let's get started. Are you tired of living the same pattern, the same theme over and over and over again, a different face, a different name, but the same situation? It's exhausting. And I have been listening to this for almost 15 years, and that's why I am making this video for you. Because I have been on this journey and I've worked with hundreds and thousands of people who are on the wheel of karma and living this dense, heavy, kind of life, and they're not truly living in joy. And it gets to be easy. Freedom, healing, and evolution gets to be yours. And I'm about to share with you how. Step number 1, accept more and avoid less. So when you're on that roller coaster of emotional highs and lows, the biggest challenge is being able to find the balance, right? Well, part of the reason you're not finding the balance is because you're avoiding your feelings. And when you're not avoiding your feelings, you're rejecting them. You're not accepting the fact that these are all parts of you, right? So when you have a pie and you cut it into all different pieces, you choose the piece that looks most appetizing to you, right? So that's probably going to be like love and joy and peace and happiness if it was a feeling, right? It's probably not going to be despair and disgust and fear and worry and doubt. But that's also a part of the pie. Everything in the pie makes up you. And if you don't understand that and don't get that, or don't accept that about yourself, then all you're doing is avoiding feelings more, pushing it away, and actually creating this loop of karma that you get to continue to experience over and over and over again. And more patterns and more themes come in with a different face and a different name. If it's a person or an experience or a specific story that you loop around in your mind, and it literally creates turmoil for you and pain and suffering. And why are you doing that? Literally, like, ask yourself that question. Why would you do that to yourself? Why are you creating more suffering for your life? So again, remember, accept more and avoid less. So many times on this journey, we avoid the thing that actually we really need. And more often than not, that's like the key into our spiritual evolution and our personal growth. And so when we're looking away from an opportunity for growth, all we're doing is continuing to keep us on the hamster wheel of karma and looping in our mind and continuing to create the same pattern and theme with a different face and a different name, or the same experience over and over and over again until we actually learn the lesson. And so when you don't accept the things that show up in your life, even the things that aren't very attractive, like fear, worry, doubt, shame, pain, the heavier things, if we don't understand that that's a part of the puzzle and that that's actually the gift in this life and this experience, then we're not actually accepting the fullness and the richness of all that is us. And so I want you to think about if someone kept coming around and everyone in your life said, that is your gift right there, that is your angel, that person is going to change your life, and that person is going to be the person who's going to give you the keys to your supremely high vibing life, meaning financial freedom, emotional freedom, physical freedom, whatever it is that you're desiring, so that you're at a higher frequency and you're creating from the most optimum place. And you continue to avoid that person by literally turning your back on because maybe they looked a certain way, or they made you feel a certain way, or you didn't like the way they smelled, or you didn't like how they spoke, or you didn't like when you looked at them, they reminded you of somebody. Does that ring a bell at all in your life? Because if you put that in place of an actual feeling, or a sensation or an energy signature that shows up and shows up and shows up and shows up. That is actually the key to your spiritual evolution. That is the thing that once you accept as a part of you, as a piece of the pie, and the wholeness that is you, that's the slice that's waiting to get filled in. And once you understand that, when you stop rejecting that thing and start accepting it in its fullness and knowing that that is beautiful, that that's not some ugly story, and that's not all of you, it's a piece of you. And without that piece, you are not whole, which is how we live a high vibe life. So when you start accepting more and avoiding less, you become whole. Which brings me to the second secret to living a high vibe life: healing. Y'all, I love this life because we get to feel. And that's the whole secret to being human. We're meant to feel. We're the only species on this planet, and from what I understand, in this universe and in these solar systems, that actually feels. We feel so deeply and so imperatively. And we feel in order to grow, because we get to have this sort of wave and these, emotional experiences that are so vast. And there's a spectrum of energetic potential on all of that whole spectrum. And so one of the ways that we get to process through accepting more so that we can live a high vibe life and become whole is to literally be the frame of a window. And so here, try this on for just a moment. Literally, think of yourself as a window, and the window's open, okay? And you can be any color window and everything else, and your screen is clean, and maybe you don't have a screen. And think of, as you look out the window, there's a beautiful landscape, whichever you choose, whether it's the beach or it's the forest. And all of a sudden, this beautiful wind comes through the window and blesses everybody who's inside the house. And as this breeze comes through the window, let it come through the window, and maybe it's fierce and ferocious and strong, or maybe it's soft and gentle and smooth. Think of the wind, the breeze. Think of that as your emotion, and let it come through without attaching meaning or a story to it. And then once you've done that, you literally can't avoid, and everything is acceptance in that place. Let that breeze or that emotion, that sensation, that feeling wash through you. Not around you, not over you, not underneath you. Through you. Let it wash through your being without attaching meaning, and just breathing slowly, intentionally, and deeply without thinking about what the feeling means, what it's attached to, who it's attached to, and what's on the other side of it, whether it's past or future. It's so vital for your spiritual evolution and for you living a high vibe life to let feelings pass through you, because that's why we're here. That is literally the secret to being a human being, is to feel everything. And I'm going to do another video on spiritual evolution, past lives, and incarnations. So please look at the playlists for these videos. I love talking about this, and this is something that you want to learn about, so you can understand how to live a high vibe life all the time, literally living in joy and having complete emotional freedom. And so emotional freedom looks like having the freedom to feel. Let the wind pass through you and visualize it passing through you and then moving out the other side. And the more that you practice this, the quicker the process happens. And then you're on the other side of it. And maybe some big emotions come. Cool. And then how do you feel on the other side of that? Amazing. Why? Because you just purged, you cleared, you cleansed, you purified. This is what we're here for. Continue to purify the density of the body. And how we do that easily and effortlessly, more so, is through feeling, sensations, and emotions. hence being a human being. Number 3, the third secret to living a high vibe life is evolution. So what we get to do is take the beauty and the light of the lessons and to be detached. You know, you hear Eckhart Tolle and the power of now and all of these other spiritual teachers talk about presence and being in the now and being detached. And that's an amazing concept. That is a way and a state of being. It's who you be, not what you do. And that's a really big concept. It's a practice, and it takes a level of spiritual and physical maturity and wisdom. And wisdom comes through experience and practice and knowledge of what's yours and what somebody else's. Number 2, it comes from really onboarding these lessons, these feelings, sensations, emotions, and understanding that as we detach, meaning not creating a story, not creating meaning, not avoiding and accepting and inviting them in and allowing them to pass through us, we actually get to process and integrate in that moment, and that's evolution. And as we detach from the meaning, we then are able to accept the beauty and the light of the lessons. Remember, beauty doesn't look like, oh, it's so pretty. Beauty is ugly and good and bad and all the things that we want to polarize emotion and energy in, and however we want to define it. So these 3 steps in tandem in practice help you to live a high vibe life. And as you onboard this into your life, you will raise your frequency. You will start manifesting and materializing everything that you're looking for in your life so that you can be with who you want, attract who you want, attract the situations you want and you desire, live wherever you want, do whatever you want, and be all of it. And as you become to be all of it, you're everything and you're nothing all at once and living in balance. And therefore those emotional highs and lows, they start to come to 0 point. 0 point, that's quantum physics, baby. That is balance. That's what we're achieving, and that's living a high vibe life. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. It means so much to me. I have dedicated my life to service and leadership of humanity and spiritual evolution because it is so important that we decide, we make a choice to get off the wheel of karma. So if this video helps you and you start onboarding and practicing this, please give it to your friends, your family, like, subscribe, share with everybody. There are so many videos here for you to live in awe and make your life awesome. Until next time.